Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in to our next episode, episode 4 of our Small Business Center Tips and Tricks videos. I'm Matt Rayome, Taylor Hughes, colleague here, and Doug Robbins
Right
over
here.
there. It's kind of like the Brady Bunch. Feels kind of neat, eh?
We're the boys of the Brady Bunch.
We should have a theme song, eh?
Yeah.
Today, we're going to be talking about SWOT analysis, something that's very important to your business and your business plan. And we're going to talk about what it is, what it means, some examples of going through a SWOT analysis, and maybe how often you should be doing a SWOT analysis for your business and your business plan, and even some other applications that you can use with the SWOT analysis. So who wants to kick off? Who wants to start talking about kind of an overview of what a SWOT analysis is?
Yeah, I'll dive into that. So SWOT analysis are something that are like a pillar of support for any decision that you might want to make with regards to your business. So SWOT is SWOT, and that stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Oftentimes you're going to see it presented in the fashion of like a grid of 4 blocks. So strengths and weaknesses up top, opportunities and threats down at the bottom. And the biggest thing here is that, and why it's so significant for a business plan is because it's really going to start looking at yourself personally and what you can, what you're going to be able to provide, and where your limitations may be inside that business, and also what the business limitations and strengths are going to be, and opportunities and threats. So kind of a quick rundown. Strengths and weaknesses are generally variables that we as the business owner or the entrepreneur or the business period should have control over. Opportunities and threats, generally those are external variables where you're not necessarily going to be able to control them. Sometimes these lines get a little bit blurred between like a strength and an opportunity, and a weakness and a threat. But that's kind of the general understanding of it. Strengths and weaknesses you can control. Opportunities and threats, they aren't things that you have necessarily control over, but they're things that you need to be cognizant of to help support your business. So if you're thinking about starting a bakery and you've worked in somebody else's bakery for the last 15 years, that's a huge strength. So if you're writing down a strength here, then 15 years of experience baking. So now if you go and bring that to somebody, maybe it's a lender or something, and they're not going to be like, well, why am I going to give you a business loan if you have no experience in what you're trying to get into? Whereas if I see you have 15 years experience doing this, well, sure. At the same time, if you've never run or operated your own business, you've never been an entrepreneur or gone down that avenue, that's going to be a weakness of yours. It's not to be upset about or to be ashamed of. If you can't think of weaknesses, there's another weakness. Because everybody has them, right? As I mentioned in the previous video, there's no such thing as perfect. So you have to be able to understand where it is that you most likely require help, whether that's in the form of hiring something out, getting an employee, whatever the case is, learning, taking online courses, whatever. If you can start turning a weakness into even something that's neutral, that's when you start seeing your business begin to vault forward. Whereas, those strengths, those are always going to be foundational strengths, and they're good to continue to get better at. But you're already strong there. So if you can focus on eliminating weaknesses, you're going to be in a good spot.
Sometimes, Taylor, too, a weakness is something you just don't have a passion for doing. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's doing your accounting or your payroll. So identifying that weakness as something that you want to job out or source out is also really important. And when you look at the weaknesses too, and that's a strength and or weakness in that case, you have to also realize that maybe it's best that I focus on things that make me more money, and a weakness item or something I don't enjoy, I can pay someone to do because I can make more money selling or talking or servicing or bringing in products. So it's good to know that weaknesses, although maybe not have a great word for it, weakness is something you can job out and be farther ahead for it.
Most definitely. And there's so many of those kind of examples that you can come up with within a business, right? Where you can't do everything on your own, and you have to have support depending on, where you're looking to scale to and stuff, but you're spot on. The opportunities and threats, those are when can be a little bit more challenging. Like oftentimes it'll be like geopolitical issues, Right now, obviously, amidst the coronavirus, it's actually an easy time to provide decent examples of it. So if you are in any form of PPE business, personal protective equipment business, or cleaning solutions, commercial cleaning, sanitizers, disinfectants, Clorox bleach comes to mind, Lysol comes to mind, for whatever reason, every toilet paper and paper towel thing under the sun. But those businesses had no control over the fact that the coronavirus was coming, but it created a monster opportunity for them because of the demand that immediately increased for the products and services that they sell. So, and on the other side of the coin, let's think about oftentimes like the tourism or any travel-related industries. Airlines took huge hits. Borders were closing. Again, something that none of these corporations or businesses had any control over in preventing, in the sense from a global pandemic. But it is a massive threat to their businesses, and likely something that you could jot down, and like people will jot down going forward. Now, I think when they complete a SWOT analysis, is global pandemics, especially in the industries that have been impacted the most. Same with like wedding industries and stuff like that, and venue concerts and sports, all these different places who didn't have any control over it, but are significantly impacted by it. So that's in a nutshell, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, what a SWOT analysis is. Again, Matt, I think you kind of mentioned too, how often should you really be using SWOT analysis? And I think the answer is anytime before you get started. You 100% want to have one in place. It's not a daunting process to complete. It can be fairly quick and easy, and it's something you can kind of just chip away at. If some light bulb pops into your head, write it down, and that can happen pretty actively. But I would very well stress that if you're thinking about launching something new, if you've innovated a product or you're going to launch a new product line, you definitely want to complete a SWOT analysis prior to moving forward with it, to understand where the strengths and weaknesses lie, and what may or may not be the opportunities and threats. So often, I would say.
Yeah, no, it's important. This SWOT analysis is, I think it's very important to your business plan. When you go through it, it's important to be honest as well. I know there's that temptation when you're doing your weaknesses to maybe gloss over some things, but like you mentioned, Taylor and Doug, it'll be good to take those weaknesses and then move towards turning them into either a neutral or a strength, and that'll only help your business grow, and that's when you'll see strength. So, great conversation. Anything else you guys want to add to that?
I'll just touch on, as you just mentioned, it's to be able to come up with the weaknesses, right? Don't be ashamed of it. At the end of the day, if that is a section that you decide to cheat on, you're only cheating yourself, nobody else. You have to right. Have that approach to it, right? So again, there's nothing wrong with having a weakness. I have plenty, we all do. But identifying those weaknesses is something that is throw it on the opportunity section.
I think by identifying the weakness, you actually can make a strength out of it too, right?
Huge.
Yep.
Another quick weakness could be a financial constraint. So if business costs you $100,000 to get going on, and you don't have $100,000 sitting in the bank, that's a weakness. But it's one that if I have it on paper, I can look to overcome it.
Yep. Or maybe you have outdated equipment that won't allow you to kind of move to the next level in your business. If you work towards replacing that equipment, that now becomes a strength, and you can now make that next level income. So no, great conversation. Anything else you guys want to add before we close this out? Okay. As always, we're here in the Small Business Center to help you with your business plan, brainstorm, any ideas, quick questions, even if you just want to chat. We're pretty fun-loving guys, so make sure you reach out and contact us. Thanks again for watching, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Take care.